Well, welcome Eleonora Lombrisa from Lufthansa, Senior Customer Service Designer. Thanks for dropping by to our stand here at IMEX Frankfurt on the last day. Tell us of your impressions of the show and about your own session yesterday.
Yeah, so I arrived yesterday in the morning and the hall was even fuller and louder. So I took some time to actually accommodate to all what's going on. And by now I really would say that I also got to know some people, so I feel like it really has a family community vibe. I really like that. And my show yesterday was also really beautiful. So it was my first time speaking on such a huge setting. Thank you very much. And it was just really lovely to see also how receptive the people were and also really engaged with the topic.
Yes. It was in the Ocean Theatre, yes, in Hall 9, yes.
Exactly.
And what was the title of the session?
Designing customer experience from an airline perspective.
Right. And you had a full audience, I understand.
Not quite full. Like, I learned that I could and definitely should do way more of advertising beforehand.
Yes.
As I said, like, it was the first time for me speaking in such a format, but I really did enjoy, and I also think like the people who stayed, they were quite engaged.
You look a very confident person. I'm sure you thrive on the buzz, yes?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, yes, I do enjoy it, but it was also very interesting to just be open with you, to also see like how it feels being like on such a platform and giving a talk. And I mean, I do know that it's a super busy place and people might attend a talk and then they need to leave because they have other things scheduled. But also just to observe how I was dealing with that when I saw someone in the audience getting up and leaving, and still like being very present and being there and not just losing my confidence.
Yes. What tips would you give somebody repeating what you did yesterday? You know, to be brave, to be courageous?
I think also just to know, I mean, there are still so many other people listening to you, and rather focus on them and actually people that pay attention, and not really judge why a person is leaving. So it actually is really like just be embodied and stay present in the moment and be there for whoever is around.
And were the IMEX team supportive coming up to the presentation?
Absolutely. I would say like I heard a lot about the IMEX family beforehand coming here, and I really was experienced that yesterday, and I really hope to come back here again. It's just a really lovely community and super supportive.
Great, good to hear. And what would you say the main takeaways from your session would be? What would you hope some of those attendees went away thinking or challenged to think?
That when we talk about customer experience designing, that we don't want to design and control every single step and stage of the journey, but there are specific things that we can plan and that we look at, but other things just let them really go and allow also space to just spontaneous interpretation, and also just be aware that humans stay humans, so everyone brings their very own story. Another one is also embrace really all the restrictions that you have. I mean, as an airline, we do have very obvious and very hard design restrictions, and it is just really helpful to understand this is not something that we try to undermine, but actually we take it also as kind of a design brief. And just to highlight again the point that we are designing for humans, which means we are not just designing hardware or services, but actually we design also for a relaxed nervous system, which includes way more like atmospheric topic, like light, how soft something is. We can work with smell, and also a lot with the human factor.
Can I ask, Eleonora, are the business tourism humans different from the leisure tourism travelers that you deal with?
I mean, it really depends what exactly you're aiming at. In the end, we are all humans. In the end, everyone, if you're leisure traveling or business traveling, you have different moods. But yes, I mean, we do know that there is specific patterns. If someone is traveling for a business, especially on the way going to a meeting, people might be more on the side of I want to rest or I want to prepare the meeting that I'm going to. So our customers then have different expectations and needs versus someone going for a vacation and wants to start drinking wine or champagne from the beginning. So of course there are different needs, but still this also applies I can't just say like all the business traveling are the same. And also when you're business traveling, you always have an outbound trip and then inbound. So you change with flight to flight.
Yes. And your audience yesterday, was there any surprise questions that arose or interesting questions for you to answer?
Let me think. I think one interesting question was really a guide on really following up. So what do you mean by letting go, like designing specific things? I would say to me it became so normal that we can't control everything, and we don't want to do that because there's always a surprise factor. And he was kind of not really stumbling upon that, but he was like really trying to understand better why shouldn't I design every detail. So it really showed me that it's still something, even though to me it's normal, that I should continue talking about that because just to make sure that everyone understands.
And now you've made your debut on the speaking circuit. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Great.